Hello and welcome along to another CrowdProperty.com funding opportunity. Today we're going to return back to Brighton for the Phase 2 launch of the Roof Space Green Diamond Building, Bartholomew Square, BN11JS. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. Now, the borrowers on this project are Jonathan and Deborah Chadwick, or Josh as we call him. So Josh and Debbie, they're experienced developers, successfully turned around a number of care homes in the 1990s. Josh is with me here on this webinar. Welcome along, Josh. Tell us a little bit more about you and Debbie.
Debbie and I work together very well. I'm obviously on the day-to-day running of the business and the construction. Debbie gets heavily involved in the design, and we just love doing what we do.
Now, you live very close to this area, don't you, in Brighton, which is very useful. Let's share the project with everyone. Project is a development loan facility of £550,000. That's towards the construction of a new residential penthouse on top of the existing building. This is phase 2 of a two-phase raise, and the loan is for a term of 12 months in total. With this raise being for about 9 months, it's going to be paying lenders 7.6% per annum. The interest is rolled up and paid at the end of the term for this phase. Let's start off though, please, Josh. Tell me a little bit more about Brighton.
Brighton is obviously a famous city on the south coast. It is a really vibrant city with sort of as much entertainment and recreation as you can handle. Famous for the lanes and very bohemian parts of the city.
Planning permission was granted by Brighton and Hove District Council. Their planning reference BH 2016/02429. That was granted on appeal in March 2017 and is varied by subsequent permissions, where permission was granted to build an additional storey to create one residential apartment. The development will be around about 1,851 square feet, or 172 square metres, and the borrower has purchased the air rights using their own funds and made a material start on site to secure the planning. The loan is to fund the conversion works. It is already first charge secured, and the exit strategy is to sell the units on the open market on completion of the works. Let's start off by looking at a location plan. You can see it down there on the south coast, actually in Brighton and Hove itself. On the right hand side you can see the building, and it's pointing to where the airspace is on that particular building in Brighton. The property located in the town centre with easy access to the beach, attractions and the main shopping facilities. Other neighbouring buildings, they've got a range of uses: residential, commercial, leisure, hotel and the local town hall as well. And with a range of diverse shops and cultural events, Brighton has been called the UK's hippest city and the happiest place to live in the UK. So let's start off then. Here are some photographs of the existing building, your building on the rooftop. Start off please, Josh, by telling us how you came across this project.
This came through word of mouth, as many of these projects do. It didn't go on the open market. I knew someone who knew the owner of the property. They were going to develop it themselves, but decided they wanted to sell it, and they wanted to sell it quietly. So I just got a phone call and I sort of jumped at it.
And the photo on the right hand side shows it's got quite a stunning view.
It has. That photo, although spectacular, doesn't do it justice. The view is absolutely stunning. You can see Brighton Pier there, but you can, if you panned to the left of that, you can see right down to Brighton Marina and the cliffs. And on a stormy day, just standing up there watching the waves break over the marina walls is fantastic.
Here are some more photos. This is where you've now already started building, isn't it?
So we've stripped off the roof and we've now got the whole structure up, watertight, and we're doing the internal fit out now.
Let's look at then at the floor plans. Here's what you're going to be doing. Talk us through the layout.
This layout has slightly changed because we went in for an amendment which gave us more room. We now get a utility room, and the WC is much larger and on the left-hand side, but the main layout is the same. So you come up the stairs into a large hallway, and then if you turn right, you go through the kitchen, which is all open plan. All the windows to your right look onto the sea, so that's south. You've got a fantastic kitchen going in. Then we move on to sort of an entertainment area where there will be a bar, dining room area, and then into sort of the lounge. On the far wall, which we're pointing east, we've managed to put 2 more windows in to increase the view. But with the central area, your TV will be, and there will be a fire below it to sort of provide some really nice ambience. Then if you reverse back to the bedrooms, you've got a second bedroom, obviously with its own little balcony and ensuite. As you go into the main bedroom, this is a spectacular room with a huge dressing area with floor to ceiling wardrobes, and again with its own balcony and all the high-tech stuff that you would expect in a property like this. In the main part of the living accommodation, we've got 34 square meters of glass, giving fantastic views all over the rooftops of Brighton and onto the South Downs. But when we've made sure that the building's not going to overheat because of this amount of glass, so we've put in air conditioning, and all the windows have got blinds that can be automatically lowered, all in one line, so they look spectacular as they slowly come down to shield the sun, but you can still see through them. And then obviously we've got blinds for the evening.
Let's look at the elevations of the building, and this is the north and the west elevations. Talk us through this, Josh.
On the north elevation, this overlooks the Jury's Inn Hotel, so there was no want to put any windows in that area. On the west elevation, these are opaque windows because they overlook the town hall and Bartholomew Square, which is a sort of an entertainment area. The east elevations obviously look down towards Brighton Marina, fantastic views. The south elevation, obviously you've got all that glass looking out onto the beach.
Now, the independent monitoring surveyor has been to site. Work on this project resumed July 2020. Is progressing with the anticipated duration of 6 months, being completed in January 2021. Talk us through their findings.
The IMS has been down, and he loves coming down because this is a really spectacular project, and he just says, wow, this is a really big penthouse just looking out to the sea, and there's nothing in Brighton to match it, I don't think, that I can find.
And he came out in August. Again, he came out in October. Things progressing very well on site. Let's look at those photos that were taken at the time. These are photos taken, I'm guessing, in August. What are we looking at?
This is a view from the south. So you're looking at where the whole of that wall will be glass, but we've had to clad it to make the property waterproof because we have had some major storms, as you can imagine. On the right-hand side, this is the sort of small existing part of the building which we had to adapt. This originally led up to a plant room, and what you're looking at is the staircase. So this is now the hallway to the property. This is a view from the second bedroom looking into the ensuite, and then further up behind that is where the kitchen will be. You can see there we're first fixing the electrics, and all the insulation has gone into the ceiling. We're using Actis insulation instead of rock wool or something like that, which is going really well, and it's really high performance insulation, and it does look a little bit space age at the moment. This one is a view of the lounge. Timber you can see on the left and right are windows which will look towards Brighton Marina. On the right hand side, on the left, you'll have views of Brighton, and in the centre, that's where the TV will be and the fireplace that I previously talked about. This is an early one, picture where we put the steel frame in, where we had to cut through the asphalt on the existing roof to put our connection so that we could build our steel frame off of the ring beam that you can see.
Who do you expect to be buying this property from you, Josh?
Target market is realistically someone who's looking for a second home, a sort of party home. Could be a footballer because Brighton Football Club is 2 miles down the road, or there are some very wealthy people in Brighton that I've been told will snap this up as soon as it comes on the market.
Now, I've got a case study to share. Here's one of 2 case studies. This is Ashurst Avenue. What did you do on this one?
Oh, this was an interesting little one. As a developer, sometimes you have the luxury of picking and choosing what you want to do, but other times, you just have to take what is on the market to keep your workforce working. This was a little project in Saltdean, and we put in 6 2-bedroom flats on a hillside.
And then the second case study is one in Worthing, and these are 3 new homes. Talk us through this.
This was a bit of wasteland that was sold by the West Worthing Social Club that owned it, hadn't done anything with it. We got hold of it, got the planning permission. We went in and changed the development, and we got 3 3-bedroom houses on it.
So here's an overview of the project financials and this proposed loan. This is the second of a 2-phase raise. The facility is for £550,000. This raise is for £275,000 with the interest paid at the end of the project. The RICS verified current market value is £250,000. The initial gross day 1 drawdown was £150,000. Therefore, the initial loan to value is 60%. The loan to gross development value, excluding interest, is 55%, and including the rolled up interest, 57.4%. The maximum loan period was for 12 months. This section of the loan is for about a 9-month period. Remember, the exit strategy is to sell the property on the open market, and lenders are going to be receiving 7.6% per annum interest. It's already secured with a first charge security against the property. So your next steps are to please make sure that you understand the loan, carry out your own due diligence, and then decide how much you would like to lend. CrowdProperty.com is the place to be to pledge on launch. The necessary anti-money laundering checks will be carried out, and then you'll be invited to send your funds to your own online e-wallet, and you'll start earning that interest on completion of the loan agreement. So this is phase 2 of a 2-phase raise where we're looking to raise £275,000 to put a new penthouse on the roof space on top of the Green Diamond building, Bartholomew Square in Brighton, BN11JS. Thank you for watching this CrowdProperty.com webinar. We look forward to you joining us again soon back here for more funding opportunities at CrowdProperty.com.